And
What is up, everybody? Happy Thursday night. Welcome to the episode, season 6, episode 13. I don't
15.
know why I'm not prepared. 15. It's already 15? Jesus Christ. Hey, guys. Happy Thursday night. Thank you so much for joining in. I see we've already got some people that are in our comments, that are in our chat. Annette, Pauliver Girls, Samara, MJ, Elizabeth, thank you guys so much for joining us as we kick off the episode tonight. As you guys can see, it is me and Danny. Danny, your resident Miami boy, joining me for the recap tonight. Danny, how are you doing tonight?
I am good, darling. I am ready to tear someone a new a-hole.
You know,
So
I wonder who that could be. Who could that be?
I'll save the surprise when it happens.
A surprise that is the worst kept surprise. Ida, thank you for joining us. Yeah, Samara, thank you. You know, everybody, it was Pride. Everybody was. It's summer. I'm in Texas, so it's starting to warm up. I just thought I'd go ahead and get in the spirit. Wear something a little airy, a little blousery. So thank you guys so much for joining us. Before we jump into it, just to let you guys know, it is going to be Danny and I tonight. So the recap. Danny and I like to cut up, but it's probably going to go a little bit quicker than normal because at the end of this, we are also going to be reviewing the reunion looks that just dropped today and getting some feedback from you guys on that. So before we get into it, make sure that you like and subscribe to this video. Click on that little button to get notifications. All of your favorite shows are beginning to wrap up in the next couple of weeks. Danny, I think we had been talking about it. I think late February is when the final episode reunion of Miami airs, and then like first or second week of March is Beverly Hills, correct?
So the season finale is actually our first night at the cabins on February 22nd. 21st.
Ooh, okay, that's gonna be a good time. It's gonna be a good time. But yeah, so as you know, the last couple of months have been crazy here at the Lean. But thank you guys for sticking with us. Bravo tested us. The Lord tested us to see if we had perseverance, and we made it to the end. Make sure you share these last couple of episodes. Some of these seasons have been going a little bit better than others. But thank you guys so much, because regardless of what the episodes do, we all know that it's going to get live and lit here in the comments and in our reviews. So let's jump right into it. We pick up immediately where we left off last week. As you know, Danny, it kind of ended on that boat, rolling up to Creepy Island with all of those babies. There was everybody was very, very uncomfortable. It was already creepy as it was. But then if you guys remember back in season 1, Julia shared that she, when her newborn baby boy was 2 months old, the nanny that she had hired to care for him had ended up committing infant homicide by, I believe, shaking the baby. The baby sadly passed away, and Julia has kind of carried that trauma with her for years and years. So I think Marisol said it best. When they got out of the boat, they were all going to the bathroom, and Marisol was like, "Bro, I love Alexia, but what the hell was she thinking putting this as a stop on the boat, given what Julia has kind of gone through?" All of the ladies are just kind of like, we need to get out of here. This is not good. Julia's trying really, really hard to kind of hold it together. So we see Adriana and Marisol and Larsa and Lisa all get out because they're going to try to find the restrooms. The rest of the ladies stay kind of on the boat. You can see Julia's trying to hold it together, but she's slowly starting to she's really losing it. It's not funny, but it's you can tell all of the ladies were very unsettled. Guerdy also was unsettled because she shared in season 1 that she's had miscarriages. Guerdy was on the brink of losing it. Alexia was losing it because Guerdy and Julia were losing it. Nicole was trying to keep everybody together. Kiki was trying to keep everybody together. And as they're doing that, Adriana actually finds one of the young men who work at a gift shop or kind of thing there on the scary island. And she was like, "Yo, we got to get out of here. The energy here is not good. I can smell evil." And the guy's like, "Well, that's not surprising. A lot of people come to this island to do witchcraft." And she's like, "Excuse this? They come here to do what?" So she's like, we gotta go. The ladies all get on the boat. They're leaving. Guerdy's crying. Julia's crying. Alexa's crying. And as they're all leaving, it's one of those rare instances where everybody's kind of like, "Yeah, we got to go. We got to get out of here." I like seeing everybody kind of rally around Julia and being on one accord. Like, this wasn't the best idea, Alexia. And even Alexia, Alexia loves to get defensive, loves to say she didn't know, but she was like, it's the culture. But yeah, this this was not a good idea. I'm so sorry. So as they're leaving, Marisol's like, hey, Alexia, where are we going for dinner? A cemetery? And everybody's laughing. Everybody's kind of laughing, and even Julia's laughing. So it's good to see that even through it, Julia's like, I'm sorry for ruining this. And nobody's really like blaming her. Except Lisa. Lisa has a sourpuss look on her face. She's still upset about the confrontation her and Kiki had. And as you all know, if you've been watching this show for any length of time, Lisa will make any and every opportunity about herself. Well, as they're driving away, Guerdy starts getting nauseous. And she's like, I've got to sit down. Like, you could physically tell, like, all the color left from her face. She's sitting down. Normally, Guerdy's very like, all right, let's try to turn this, energy around. But she's completely silent. The ladies are all like, yo, we can really see that Guerdy is not feeling well. Everybody just needs some quiet. Everybody just be quiet. It's a lot of energy, a lot of stuff. So as everybody stays quiet, like, you literally could not have scripted this better. A boat comes around the corner with a full, like, 5-piece mariachi band. They're blaring, they're singing. Everybody's like, what the hell, bro? A dog is barking on the boat. Everybody gets up and is like, stop it, stop playing, like screaming. She's throwing up. They finally pull up to the shore. They all get out. Guerdy's immediately like vomiting, right? It is hilarious to see all 9 women running in opposite directions, trying to like take care of Guerdy's like, get them. Marisol's like, get her some ice cream for the sugar. It's like, why would she need ice cream? She's throwing up. Like, don't get her ice cream. She's puking everywhere. But it was nice to see everybody kind of band together again for her. Nicole and Julia are literally like attached to her hip. Alexia, in a rare instance of like some common sense, is like, no, I really think we should call an ambulance. So they call the ambulance, and this is when Nicole like really kicks in and goes into doctor mode, because she was really explaining the whole thing. And I don't know if you guys caught this, but we talked last week about Amory, doing kind of the bare minimum of just like, you're fine, girl. Like, do you want me to go with you? Nicole literally jumps in that ambulance and she's talking Guerdy through what they're doing. Okay, Guerdy, you're going to feel a prick. They're going to give you some fluids. Guerdy, move your hair back. Guerdy, I'm going to call your husband. And she's explained that more than likely, everything Guerdy's been going through mentally, the exhaustion, the change in altitude. The ladies are from the sea level in Miami, and now they're up in the mountains in Mexico. They've been running around all day, haven't been eating properly. More than likely, Guerdy is dehydrated. So all the other ladies are on the Sprinter van, and Nicole is in that ambulance, really talking Guerdy through it. It's in this scene that you can really tell the relationship that Guerdy and Nicole have. Guerdy genuinely cares, Nicole genuinely cares for Guerdy. And I think that, we've said over the past couple episodes, we love their friendship. And this is one of those friendships that I, for one, really, really hope there's never any bullshit that comes between them for them to fall out. Because I really genuinely love seeing their energy together. So Danny, walk us through the thought process on all of this.
First off, I just love seeing that it's not just us who call Anne-Marie Annabelle. So MJ, I love that you call her, because that's what we call her, because she definitely reminds me is as evil as that doll. So it was definitely sad to see Julia crying. I can't imagine what it is to be triggered by something like that. As Nicole said, she's never even gone through something like that and is affected, so she can't imagine what Julia's feeling and dealing with. It was funny to me how Lisa was saying the energy's weird, let's get out of here, after she got her social media moment from the place. She was recording herself, selfies, doing all this. And after she captured that, then it was time to go. I guess Marisol didn't have any toilet paper to wipe with when she was done using the bathroom. Adriana said evil smells like cat piss, and I'm like, okay. It's funny how they're all ready to leave that place, and Adriana is just taking her sweet time. I think production is so on point, how they have the dramatic music. Then they go to Adriana, like, what is she doing? And the music just stops, and you just hear Adriana like, walking. Oh, I don't want to twist my ankle again. Please don't, because you'll probably bring up Frankie again. So please don't do that to your
Let's not do that.
You know, I don't ever have much nice to say about Alexia, but it was very nice to see how effective she was at seeing Julia so emotional. And I'm pretty sure there was a little part of her that, for once in her life, felt guilty. Like, gosh, I put this together, and while I didn't know this was going to happen and we were going to go through this, she probably still felt something like, geez, I feel horrible, you know?
Yeah.
And I'm not going to lie, at first, I did think Guerdy was being a little dramatic. Like, on purpose, I thought she was trying to get everybody to just, you know. But yeah, she definitely was sick. And yeah, so everybody's rallying around Guerdy, trying to make her feel better, and Lisa's looking for a damn lip gloss. I mean, to the point to where she opened the cooler to look at it. Like, who put it in there? Like, you probably ain't threw it at the dog when you're throwing food, to be quite honest.
Okay.
And yeah, I agree with you. You know, Alexia, only one who had some sense, and I really think that Alexia is on guard and always ready with, you know, her first mind goes to an ambulance because of everything that she's had to deal with Frankie. And I'm kind of glad that, you know, that she had that instinct. I'm sure Nicole would have eventually gotten to that, but it was nice to see Alexia pushing for it and not just sitting on the sidelines. Yeah. And you're right. I do love Nicole and Guerdy's relationship. The love there between the two is real. And Nicole was right. That Zofran and that IV really, within halfway through, brought Guerdy back to life.
I need to see if I can just get some of them for the weekends. I just need to keep some of them around the house.
And I'm kind of glad that that's all it was dehydration. Because, you know, with Guerdy's situation, even though it's still early, you just never know if it could have been related to something else happening. So I'm just glad that it was that. And yeah, that's it.
I agree with you with your assessment of production. I think production, particularly with Miami, I think production senses the comedic moments in the middle of the chaos, because there's been situations like this before. Well, a one-off camera will capture one other cast member who's not really in the middle of all the craziness, and they're doing something, and I don't think we as viewers give this particular production team kudos, particularly when other franchises have their production team really like doing their absolute worst producing for some of their franchises. Miami's production team genuinely feels like they're there to get as good of a scene out of all of the ladies as possible without interfering or making it seem fake. But then a lot of that just has to do with these ladies are just unintentionally funny.
And what you're saying, the mariachi band is a prime example, because when I tell you, I was sitting here sad going through it while they're going through it, and then I instantly went to like full-blown laughter. Like I was literally crying tears.
Their reaction,
and they wanted to laugh.
What the?
They wanted to laugh. You could tell a few of them wanted to bust out laughing. They couldn't.
Larsa wanted to laugh. Larsa.
I have to say, last episode and this episode, I have enjoyed Larsa, and it pains me.
I've enjoyed Larsa. The part before we move on, the part that got me was when another unintentionally funny moment when Julia is in like tears, hysterics, and Guerdy is like, you know, kind of massaging the back of her head and just like being there for her. But then she starts to get sick and she's like over, and then you just see her hand on Julia's face.
And Larsa's saying, "Oh look," and Larsa's saying, "Look, Julia, a duck," and it was a dog on lily pads.
I don't. You can't you can't script this if you wanted to. Like, this is just one of those things where all of this really happened. So yeah, as Danny said, thank God it was just, you know, dehydration, as Dr. Nicole said, because Nicole goes into Guerdy's room the next day as everybody's getting ready for Pride, and Guerdy is back. Guerdy's like, I feel great. Thank you so much for doing that. I can't wait to get ready for Pride. And Nicole's like, okay, well, make sure you're drinking some water today. And Guerdy's like, absolutely, we're not drinking liquor today. Alexia and Marisol are in their room, and both of them are kind of joking that we should have brought like holy water on the boat because there was some spirits that were on there. They start talking about Lisa and Kiki's little confrontation, and they're both kind of on Kiki's side. That like it was completely unnecessary for Lisa to yell at her the way that they did. They don't think that Kiki should have thrown it, but honestly, it wasn't that big of a deal. Like Alexia conveys that Kiki kind of told her the reason I reacted the way that it is because Lisa just completely lacked self-awareness. When she said these dogs, it's chicken. This is probably better food than they get. That triggered me.
I can guarantee.
Yeah, I was like, oh, can you? And Marisol's, laughing. Kiki's been talking about needing to get laid and stuff the last couple of weeks. And Marisol's like, she just needs to get ungrumped or something like that. And Lexi's like, maybe we can download Grindr. I'm like, oh, that's not going to help Kiki, but okay. So everybody is, like I said, getting ready. Lisa once again is complaining to her glam squad that she's the victim. I can't believe I got a juice box thrown at me. And I'm like, it was a Mott's apple juice box. Like, you're fine. It's a Capri Sun. I know you weigh 70 pounds and you haven't eaten.
And it was empty.
Like, trust me. And it was empty. It's not going to hurt you. So downstairs, everybody's getting ready. Julia comes down with a big sign that says, go Adriana or congratulations, Adriana. And Adriana's name is completely spelled wrong. And all of the ladies are like, oh, ma'am, that's not how you spell her name. And she's like, no, it is because I have it saved in my phone. And she shows them the name on the phone and it's also spelled wrong. But as Alexia said, at least she brought a sign because nobody else did. So God bless Julia. Yes, Adriana. Go Adriana. So they arrive at the festival. There's about 200,000 people there. And from what they're showing, like it really is, it's a huge, huge thing. And, I've known online that Mexico City's Pride is a big event, but, seeing it live like that and seeing the camera show, like it's enormous. And whatever Emilio Estefan had to do to get Adriana on that roster, I know he pulled every favor in the book to get her on there. So the girls all look festive. Adriana approaches the stage. The ladies kind of run to the VIP section. And finally, it's time for her to perform. She gives a speech about love is love and thanks to everybody. And the crowd is just kind of like, yeah, good job. So the song starts and the music is going, but Adriana's mic is not on in any capacity. She is lip syncing and she is lip syncing horribly to it. But the ladies are still dancing to it. They are the only ones dancing to it. I almost felt a little bad for Adriana because that crowd was not feeling it. And you know how boring you have to be for a bunch of drunk gays to not at least like scream and twirl
for
a little
song
bit.
That's nice.
Yeah, for a song that's actually a party song. The dancers are tearing it up, but Adriana, like, for as much as she yells and is animated, that lady got on stage and was just, yeah, Misha.
You could see her thinking about it.
Yeah.
She
was not prepared. God bless her. But it finally ends. There are times that she's like forgetting to put the mic to her mouth. The ladies are kind of clocking that she's lip syncing, but I will say at the end of the performance, everybody in their confessionals was ultimately very, very supportive. To her face, they were very supportive, telling her congratulations. And I really do like seeing all of them getting along and having a good time. Even Lisa, as much as she drowned the room in negative energy, she was up there and she was dancing. So after this, the ladies all head back to the hotel. They're going to rest up and they prep for dinner. So let's pause there. Danny, would she have been safe or would she have sashayed away for you?
We would have got RuPaul saying the infamous meh. That's what but no, so it's a beautiful song. I will say, they're not spring chickens anymore. Of course, they're not elder, but they're not spring chickens. And Adriana's body is banging.
Yeah, she looked great. Adriana looked really, really good.
Really good. I want to go easy on her because she literally only had 1 day of practice for this.
That may be her fault.
Well, maybe, but we don't know. It's like they got there and boom, the next day it's this.
Yeah.
So I want to give her some grace, but also at the same time, like, if it was me and I didn't know the routines, dancers, y'all dance, I'm going to just sashay around with the microphone and sing. And then I'll come back
but
to
baby, I've been doing what I can. I'm doing what I can.
I'm gonna do the best with what I got.
Oh,
but the song, I love the song. It's so catchy. I really think it's the best song from Housewives. Other than Candace's Drive Back. Candace's Drive Back and this are my two favorite Miami's, Housewives songs. Of course, Tardy for the Party is the most iconic, but as far as quality of music, this one and Drive Back are the best. So I love, like you said, that, I expected everybody to congratulate Adriana to her face and throw shade in the confessional, and nobody did. In the confessionals, everybody gave props, which is why I was so annoyed that when Marisol congratulated Adriana instantly went to, oh, so now we're friends. Like, girl, just say thank you sometimes. Like, turn it off.
Yeah.
And Cortez.
I was like, y'all been getting along up to till this point.
And Cortez, Candy's fake people says hello and I say goodbye to that song. But yeah,
not
so
fake
that really, it was a catchy song.
Yeah.
But yeah, I was really annoyed with Adriana for that. Like, sometimes you got to learn when to let the claws down. I get that you feel that it's not sincere coming from Marisol. I get that you can't always trust her, but sometimes in the moment, just take it for what it is. You can tear her up later if you see different in the confessional, but in the moment, just live in it. Like, they were there supporting you. She could have easily said, child, I'm going to go sit at the bar and drink and not watch you perform, and come lie and say, girl, you're great, with a cocky in her hand. But like, just live in the moment and accept it sometimes. That could have been her extending an olive branch. Because, I mean, really, at the end of the day, you're the one that did her wrong last season, last reunion. So, I mean, she really doesn't even need to be talking to you.
Exactly.
Just say.
I agree. The song is really, really catchy. Like, say what you want about Adriana. Like, she can carry a little bit of a tune. I think maybe dancing and performing is not her gig. Somebody said that she's great at the piano. She really is. Like, we're not taking that away from her. But also give her props. If it was me, I would not even have gone on stage in front of 200,000 people. No, baby, I'm going back to my hotel. We're good.
And that applause at the end, even though they were really like, they were happy she was getting off stage, but
stop that.
Still, if I'm on stage catching that applause, you ain't gonna be able to tell me nothing.
That's because I'm here and you're not. Where are we at?
That's more people than Trump had at his inauguration. That's more people than was at Trump's inauguration. But anyway,
exactly. So later on that night, they all come together for dinner. They're at Alexia's. I think Alexia's like penthouse suite, right? She's hosting them there before they go to like a brand event or a brand party. Everybody's having a good time. Everybody is dressed. Like, I will say, this entire episode, like, these ladies look fantastic. Like, I just love getting them together. They look so good. And a lot of times when you get on cast trips, not every franchise looks good. So Kiki walks in, and I have to say, I am loving this little pussycat hairdo that Kiki has been rocking. Like, I love the wigs and the long hair, but this little pussycat hairdo, like, I think that it ups her confidence. Because, baby, she has been carrying with this little pussycat for the last couple episodes. So she walks in and she's like, hello, Lisa, how are you? Lisa already is getting on people's nerves because she's complaining about being allergic to sugar. And Alexia's like, girl, shut up and just get a drink. Damn. Like, nobody's allergic to sugar. Shut up. My God, girl. So again, Lisa makes another joke about Kiki being violent. And we get like a little flashback where this is about the third or fourth time where she was like, oh, don't beat me up. Oh, are you going to fight me again? Oh, don't throw anything at me. Kiki is obviously annoyed, very, very annoyed. And I can't help but think, like, girl, the picture you're trying to paint of this Black woman assaulting you or what is the word I'm looking for? Unprovoked to violence coming at you. Like, girl, let's not do this. What I will say in this whole situation, and every single one of the ladies told Lisa she was dead ass wrong. And I don't think that we would have gotten that on other franchises. We absolutely would not have gotten that on Beverly Hills. And we absolutely have not gotten that on Beverly Hills. We haven't gotten it. Hell, even on Potomac, we haven't gotten that. So Nicole, I will say immediately, says to Lisa, hey, I think painting Kiki as aggressive is really, it's not it. It's not the move. And Alexia surprised the hell out of me when she was like, yeah, no, we're not going to do that. I was like, oh, shit, you know how wrong you have to be where the girl who's the most wrong tells you you are wrong? Two of the girls that are the most wrong, Larsa and Alexia. But Lisa still she's not getting it. So Kiki and Larsa are talking, and I agree with you, Danny. Like, I'm genuinely enjoying Larsa. When she has some sense, this lady has some sense. And I will say, normally, I don't live for her fashion. I think sometimes she comes off as Fashion Nova cheap. This little denim like pantsuit set with the little like bustier up on top and that little wet wavy, she looked so good. And I was like, you're on point with Larsa. I love this. I'm enjoying this. So Kiki then kind of goes a little bit in depth about why she was triggered by what Lisa said. She said, I grew up at these houses that Lisa was turning her nose down at. Lisa doesn't know what's going on in these people's homes. She says, everything that I have, I've worked for it. I've busted my butt to get here, to get the little bit of money that I have, to get the food on my table. And for Lisa to say, oh, this is the best meal that they've had, believe me. Like, she's like, that's so ignorant, to say. She said, we work for what we have. We don't lay on our backs to F a doctor for money. And Larsa's face, you could tell she was like, get her. Meanwhile, Julia's kind of in the back. She came in and said hello, and she's getting her drink. And when I say Julia is working in season 3, Julia is working in season 3. Because as this conversation is going on, Julia slips outside where Lisa is complaining about Kiki. Alexia and Nicole are still kind of saying, like, you have to understand that, like, you were kind of an instigator in this. Like, you're not completely wrong. It's like, I'm done with Kiki. I'm not going to do this with her anymore. I really purposed in my heart that we were going to make peace. And I'm like, does your head know that your heart said that?
You can't make peace passive aggressive
at all. And Alexia even clocked that. She was like, that's passive aggressive. You're being very passive aggressive. And I was like, what is going on? What is in the water on this trip? Miss Julia walks in and was like, what are y'all talking about? Because I just was in there and it's getting crazy in there. Kiki said, Lisa, that you are a spoiled, entitled little girl. And as Lisa does, she takes what was said and she immediately twists the words and says, oh, I'm a spoiled, entitled brat. I was like, that's not what was said. Girl, what was said? And Nicole's face, she's like, Julia, come on, really? And in her confession, she goes, I'm very glad that you're using your mouth, you're speaking your mind, but can we please, like, use your mouth to, like, garner peace? Like, why are you...
Guerdy said, go sit down.
Right? Like, what is going on? And Lisa's like, well, that's it. I'm done. I'm done trying to be friends with Kiki. And I was like, okay, I didn't know you were trying. So once they're all inside, Kiki and Larson, them are still talking. And Nicole is like, all right, well, let's do this. She walks up to Kiki and was like, well, you're going to have to know what's going on. Like, are you going to make peace? Because Julia just ran outside and told Lisa that you were talking best about her. And Kiki was like, oh, well, who's the big mouth now, Julia? And Julia kind of laughed. Kiki kind of laughed. And I'm like, okay, I think, like, there's still that camaraderie. They're still good. But then Kiki stands in it and says, like, well, I don't know what to tell you. That's how I feel. So let's take a quick break there. Danny, let's hear your thoughts on this.
So, Larsa, I appreciate you being there for Kiki. I appreciate you having sense. But I believe that face that Larsa made when Kiki said, I didn't lay down with a plastic surgeon and become rich, is because Larsa laid down with a basketball player and became rich.
Tucked on her wig a little bit.
Is why I think Larsa was making that face. And again, nothing wrong to it. Use what you got to get what you want.
Okay.
But, I feel like that comment probably hit a little home for Larsa too. And, Julia, in the moment, I was upset that she was like, oh, Julia, girl, why are you doing this? But what transpires later on in the episode, good job, because you gave us a good moment. Because of you, your producing gave us a good moment.
Yeah.
But yeah, I find it hard to understand. I find it hard to comprehend why Lisa blames what she's going through now as to why she's self-absorbed and only talks about Lenny. if I can recall, ever since she's been on the show, it's always been about Lenny. It's always been about her. She suffocates the room every time. She's always has to be the center of every conversation. Her talking about Lenny constantly is not new right now to them. And it's not new to her. She did it even when they were happy. It was always talking about Lenny. So I don't really see much of a difference. I know people say she's going through something rougher now. She is, but I don't see much of a difference in Lisa. Lisa is the same self-absorbed, entitled, spoiled brat as Julia is.
And that's what you said.
that she's been from the beginning. So yeah, and I just find it, this is. I'll get more into Kiki later on on the last scene. I'm good for now. But I also agree. I also enjoyed Alexia calling Lisa out and telling her, girl, no, you were being passive aggressive. Like, you need to stop doing that. But someone said in the comments, and I can't remember, I think it was Art World, and I agree, Julia's just happy not to be at the center. I mean, Alexia's happy just not to be at the center of an argument this time. That it's not her.
I think the reason why I enjoyed Alexia is because after all of that mess with Nicole, it's refreshing to see Alexia not clamoring for the spotlight. In every other episode for the past season or two, you've seen Alexia do any and everything to try to be the star, the this. And it's refreshing for her just to kind of sit back and be authentic, like not turn it on, I guess, is what I'm saying. She's enjoyable. She's like season 2 Alexia. I'm liking her again. So like, Alexia, keep this up. Don't try so hard. Like, trust me, the people enjoy you a lot more when you're just there. So as the party continues, we find out that Marisol is also sick now. And so she's down in the room trying to recover. So everybody has decided, we're going to go in and we're going to go to this big party that Alexia has procured tickets to. And the party actually looks really, really fun. Like, it's huge. I don't think they discussed how Alexia was able to get everybody in and out, or if it was production or whatever, but this is a trip. Like, Mikey has done trips. I want to go to some of these trips. I think in the franchises this season across, we haven't really seen the ladies have a trip where they're having fun, where it looks like a trip like, oh, I want to go there. So it's nice to see, like, and in Miami fashion, the trip has been very Miami. Because this party that they're going to is very Miami. Like, there's neon lights, there's a DJ, there's drinks, there's women scantily clad. Like, it's a Miami party. Everybody's having a good time except, you know who. Lisa is drowning the room in negative energy. And she says verbatim, I was open to forgive Kiki, but Kiki ruined it. I was like, are we in 2 separate events? Like, what episode are you filming? Julia takes the time to jump in and continue to talk to Lisa. And at this point, I can understand what's going on in Julia's head. She's trying to tell her, don't be so hard on Kiki. Everybody is feeling this way. And I guess that's why she went to tell Lisa, like, girl, this is what's being talked about. Your best friend is talking about it. But she tells Lisa, she was like, it was wrong of you to yell at Kiki when she is saying something that everybody else is feeling. We have supported you for the last year. We've been there for you. We've been by your side. Just because you're having a bad day or a bad time doesn't give you the right to tell Kiki to shut up. And I was like, all right, Julia. Okay, here we go. And for a second, I thought it was going to be a good conversation because Lisa says, you're right. You're absolutely right. I was like, oh, Julia got through to her. Well, as they're talking, Guerdy overhears them. And Guerdy's face through this whole thing is hilarious. She's listening to it in real time, but she's trying to get Nicole's attention, like, girl,
and she's
what's going on
over here? Girl, she's talking about it, and Lisa is so self-absorbed, she don't even hear Nicole. I mean,
at
Guerdy.
all. And again, like I said, that everybody, Guerdy overhears them. Lisa is completely unaware that Guerdy is trying to tell people that this conversation is going on, but she's incredulous. And everybody else is wrong, and she's the victim. She's emotional. She's like, I'm gonna go. I can't be here. So she gets up and storms off. And of course, the other ladies are like, what's going on? Where are you going? And she says verbatim, I'm just not in the mood to have fun. I'm like, you need some fun. Like, my God. So, of course, all of the other ladies follow her in an attempt to finally just resolve this. And they all start talking, and Nicole kicks it off, and she was like, okay, here's what it is. Julia, you said something at the club that apparently all of us are talking crap about. Lisa, this is what Lisa said. Once again, Lisa distorting the message that was actually given to her. And Julia said, actually, what I said was we have supported her for so long. I thought what she did to Kiki was wrong. And at this point, we're all kind of a little bit tired of her making everything about herself. And Larsa jumps right in, takes that baton from Julia, and reinforces that. Hey, Lisa, I love you. You're my best friend, but I would not be your best friend if I would lie to you and not tell you when you're wrong. And you are dead wrong what you did to Kiki. And Larsa's a little meaner with it than Julia was. She said, that was nasty. That was foul. You were dead wrong. Kiki did not deserve that. And Lisa's face looks like, I don't know what you're talking about. Lisa's the victim. Again, well, the group is kind of split. Adriana and Nicole are a little bit more sensitive to what Lisa is going through. Adriana is very vocal about, hey, who are we to tell her that she needs to get over it when she's not over it? And Nicole is like, I don't think everybody in the group is tired of it is an accurate assessment. And I was like, well, everybody in the group is tired of it, Nicole. Kiki takes this opportunity to talk to Lisa just kind of one-on-one and says, Lisa, you don't know my backstory. You don't know where I've come from. You don't know that I've worked my butt off to get here. And you don't know because you don't ask. Nobody in this group asks about me. Nobody asks how my day is. Nobody asks where I go. Nobody asks what I'm doing. She goes, I have 2 kids. And this is what I was surprised because I thought she only had 1. She says, I have 2 kids and nobody knows a thing about them. And she asked Lisa point blank, Lisa, what's my son's name? And Lisa just stares at her. She goes, exactly. She starts getting emotional and she says, we all have issues that we're going through. I have issues, but the difference between you and me is I don't burden the group with my issues. You're healthy. Your kids are healthy. Money isn't everything. Lisa's the victim. Well, I'm not going to say anything because if I do, it's going to be taken wrong. So I might as well just shut up. And I'm like, can somebody please, Kiki, fight her? Like at this point, you just got to fight her. But Kiki, again, very eloquent, very succinct, very calm, says, well, Lisa, your comments about the houses and how the food is the best food that they have, I guarantee it, is what triggered me because you don't know what kind of food these people have. That's where I come from. Lisa immediately is on the defense. No, Kiki, that's not what I said. And the camera rolls it back, and that is exactly what she said. And she says, that's not what I meant. You're twisting my words. And in my mind, I was like, I really don't know what other way you can say what you said and it have any other meaning. But again, this is another example of Lisa accusing people of twisting words when she does that to her benefit. And she starts talking over, and Kiki said, Lisa, be quiet. I'm not done talking. You're talking over me, blah, 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 blah. And then she screams, well, I can't fix your childhood trauma. I'm not your therapist. And everybody's jaw drops. And Kiki kind of like pauses. She's like, what did you say to me? Because you can genuinely tell that she was like, I'm sorry. What does that have to do with anything? And so she repeats it. I said, I'm not your therapist. It's not my job to fix your trauma. Kiki sees red. This is what I'm talking about. This is why you're entitled. I literally poured my heart out to you, and you're going to say that it's not your job to fix my trauma. She's cussing. The ladies are kind of sitting back. Guerdy's kind of like, all right, let's like, Kiki, don't let that bother you. And that's when Kiki was like, well, maybe what's happening with you and Lenny is your karma. And the ladies again, jaws drop, but nobody's arguing
Alexia
about
says,
it.
No.
She said, oh, Dios. The ladies are gagged. Guerdy again is trying to keep Kiki, but Kiki storms out. She's cussing Lisa to the end of the earth, and she ends by saying, karma is a bitch. And we get a final shot of Lisa's face looking like, once again, she's the victim and she's been wronged. Certainly. And I don't know if that's just because she genuinely thinks she's a victim or if it's because her face cannot move when she's not crying. Danny, I know you were annoyed at this.
So Again, my praise for Larsa is going to be limited because I know next episode she might get into it with Kiki. So, Um, but again, I love Larsa, checking her. And I know that English is not Julia's first language.
Yeah.
But my God, we need some. I can understand the intent of what she's trying to say because I have family members that's English isn't their first language. So I sometimes I've learned how to try to decipher. But in her saying that, what she was saying, we all feel this way. If I was Lisa in that moment, I would have felt like everybody was gathered to talk about behind my back in that moment. And it's probably deserved because you can't say nothing to her, but I would have felt that way. And Kiki, my heart actually broke for Kiki in this scene. Because she's out of the whole group, nobody is as supportive as her to everybody. She doesn't pick and choose. She literally supports everybody every time. She's the first one to arrive. And so my heart broke for her. And, when Lisa said, "You're over talking me." No, Lisa, you're actually over talking her because Kiki was not done. Kiki was still speaking. She was not done. You could have simply waited, but you think it's okay to interrupt because what you have to say is more important. And when she made the comment of, it's not her, she can't fix her childhood trauma, you're right, you can't, Lisa. Just like they can't fix your trauma with Lenny, just like Jody can't fix your trauma with Lenny, but you still lay it on them. So why can't she for once, why couldn't you just sit there and shut up and listen to this woman bare her soul? It was the first moment you've seen Kiki be really, really, really vulnerable like that and let her wall down completely. And if you can't empathize with, and I know hopefully she watched the scene last night and feels some kind of empathy, because when they showed the flashback of Kiki's house back then, like that, it was hard. Again, to her, she was probably happy growing up because she didn't know any different. But looking back and when she finally, started living a lifestyle that, a lot of people achieve to usually leave where they come from and do better. And I'm trying to phrase it without sounding like, they're doing bad. You know what I mean? But, I hope Lisa feels some empathy. I'm pretty sure she didn't take any accountability at she probably came angrier at the reunion. But if I were those girls, not just Lisa, if I were the other women, I'd feel ashamed too that none of us showed much interest in as Kiki was going on with her. Yeah. Because it's not just all on Lisa. From what we get to see on camera, nobody asked Kiki, what's going on with you? You know what I mean? I think if Kiki would have asked them to name her kids' names, maybe Guerdy and maybe Larsa would have known. And that's a maybe.
Marisol, I think Marisol would have elected about it.
And what I'm saying is I don't think it would have been just Lisa who didn't know.
Yeah. And it's, the last season of the season before, a lot of people were like, oh, we don't know anything about Kiki. We don't do this. I think seeing Kiki in this episode kind of showed me that, she gave the story about her parents kind of disowned her a little bit for a while when she came out to model because they didn't agree with her doing swimsuits and stuff like that. So the woman genuinely has been on her own since she was 16. Kiki is one of those girls that it's very easy to see her as just a good time girl and the funny in this, but it very much is a mask. Like, she very much has a hard exterior. She's had to fight. She's had to survive. And she's done that by herself. She hasn't had anybody to kind of fall back on. And I think that we're at this point with Kiki here that she's now comfortable with the girls. She has a couple of really good friends in there. And Kiki in this episode, and honestly, Kiki in this season has not felt like a friend. And I know that we say that about all the friends, but I think Kiki, more than everybody, has really solidified herself as somebody that if they make her full time, you're going to get the same amount of Kiki, just maybe with more screen time.
More in depth.
Like, she's more in depth. And I'm interested in that. I want to see Kiki working. I want to see Kiki with her family. I want to see that kind of relationship that she has. And it did break my heart for her to say, like, y'all don't ask about me. I'm by myself with my kids.
Jamie, this might be the first cast that I would be fine with everybody being a main cast member and not having any further shows, because everybody
As
there,
much as you're annoyed with Marisol, even Marisol,
even Marisol's interesting. I want to ask you a question though, and you might have to dig deep and think hard about this. When is the last time? Can you think of a time, rather not the last time, but can you think of a time or a scene, not just this season, any season, that Lisa did not talk about Lenny?
Oh God.
And I say that to say, because I see comments that, she's going through a divorce, that's why she's like this. But no, Lisa has always been like this. Lenny and her life have always consumed every scene she's in, every episode, every room she's in. It's always about her and Lenny. And
that was a point of contention in the first one. Like they literally sat her down and was like, you're a spoiled brat. Like all you talk about is your marriage and your money. Like you need to get something. And I think it was, what's her name? The older lady. I forgot, the older blonde lady from the original one. She was like, you need to have a contingency plan if this doesn't work out. You're so dependent on this man that if he decides to divorce you, if it's going south, what are you going to do? She told that lady that 10 years ago. Yeah. And here we are, we're having to still deal with that because she doesn't take. Lisa's this kind of person that whenever she asks for advice and then you give advice and she's looking at you with just blank eyes. Like, damn well, every bit of advice. It's nothing. It's a brick wall. You probably have better luck talking to a brick wall because at least brick walls can be knocked down.
It's just too much for me with her. Like, I just don't. She needs to go.
I feel bad that she's going through stuff. Oh yeah, but she's become unenjoyable to watch because it's not wholly about her.
And if you're going through stuff, use us as your escape in the sense that Lisa, I kind of feel like Lisa enjoys feeling victimized and being able to. Lisa enjoys living in that mind space of feeling victimized and wanting to have people feel sorry for her.
I agree. And she needs to unpack that with the therapist because, again, we're not your therapist. We can't
fix that trauma.
We can't fix that. Whatever trauma you have, whatever daddy issues you have that you've latched onto this man and allow him to emotionally abuse you for the last 20 years. And now you're latched up to another man that's trying to take his place, but you're emotionally abusing that man because the other man, like, it's too much. It's too much. She's become unenjoyable. And it's just she would probably do good to take a season off and just genuinely focus on herself and her damn kids. But okay, so before we open up the lines, Danny, if you want to go ahead and drop the link for them to call in, we're going to go ahead because the reunion looks did drop. And I see some people in the comments saying there was not a single look. Now, I'm going to disagree because I think ultimately the Miami cast consistently has been the most cohesive cast when it comes to look, even when not all of them are wins. And there's a couple of people on here that I'm going to give props to that you guys know that I don't see it for. So let's go ahead and get into it. All right, Danny. So we've got Lisa, Julia, and Dr. Nicole, who is very much pregnant. I'll go ahead and start with you. Who is your best dressed out of these three?
It's my best dress here is Nicole, and it's not just because I love her, but I think she managed to make pregnant look glamorous.
Yes.
The color is eating her skin up, the red lip, the hair. I just think head to toe, she's on point. Julia's is busy, but I like it. I think it fits her personality in a sense. I think it's true to her. Would it be something that if I was scanning a room and said, oh, wow, they look gorgeous, would I stop on Julia? No, but it's attention grabbing. It stands out. Lisa, to be this glam doll and to be so always want to be popping, this was simple, safe, and boring. And almost she crossed the line from being elegant and classy. Like, she's a little bit more on the trashy side to me.
I agree.
So the only one here that I don't... I'm sorry. The only one here that I really don't truly care for is Lisa's because it's just safe and boring.
It's almost like she saw this dress and was like, you know what, this isn't this isn't scandalous enough for me. Let's take the slit up to my thigh. Uh, she looks gorgeous. The hair is gorgeous, but again, it's kind of the same thing we get from Lisa. You know, it's going to be a gown and it's going to be a little bit revealing, and you're going to see a lot of her body. So I'm not very surprised. But also, one, I feel like she's lost a little bit of weight. So this kind of draped look that she has with these gowns, they almost make her look a little emaciated, which then I can't really appreciate how good that she looks, because I'm like, ooh, girl, like we need to get some weight on you. Because Lisa's always been a tiny girl. She's like 5'4". She's always been skinny. But you can tell recently she's dropped a little bit of weight. And if you're going to be showing up all that thigh bone, like, ma'am, we need some meat on the bone. Like, no, like, I can't even make a soup with that. Like, that's not even a broth bone. Julia looks great. Julia's face is giving it for me. I really like this little cape jacket look. The thing that is a miss for me with Julia, it's the different prints. Like, we've got the colorful flowers and then the leopard. I almost wish that if the pants were black as well, and it was just like a black bodysuit, and let the cape be the statement piece, it would have worked a little bit better for me. I just think the two prints are very, very like aggressive prints, and together my blood pressure is up. But other than that, like,
but I'm glad she's wearing it and it's not wearing her, because she has the confidence to pull this off. Like, you could sense the confidence in her pose.
Yeah, she looks great. It fits her body fantastically. Like, I think that she looks amazing. That face looks amazing. This little hairpiece that she has, I think she looks great overall. It's just,
and Jamie,
what?
You know what she was doing too? There is leopard in the cape.
I can't even see, because every time I get close, my eyes go cross and I have an epileptic seizure. Okay.
Right arm.
Like, okay. Well, girl, that's too busy then. Nicole, I agree with you. Nicole is the best dress in this one for me. Like, it gives very much like 1950s glam. This little hair, the dress is simple. I think that she had on gloves and like almost like a fur when she initially comes out. I almost wish that she would have kept that on, but it gave very much like Veronica Lake, Jessica Rabbit type feels. And she's glowing in her pregnancy. And so congratulations to her. I think she looks phenomenal. Next up, we've got Larsa, Alexia, and Guerdy. So I'll go ahead and start. Y'all know that I do not ever give Larsa props when it comes to fashion. But for me, Larsa ate this up. Like, Larsa looks beautiful right here. It almost reminds me a little bit of Portia in that little purple velvet number when she had that crown on. Now I know the picture, I think the dress is a little see-through, so I think on camera it's going to look a little trashier than what it is, as is Larsa's brand. But in this picture, Larsa looks great. Alexia looks beautiful, as she normally does, but again, this is we've seen this dress on Alexia multiple times before. And Guerdy, like, I didn't think it was possible for Guerdy to get even more gorgeous. And this dress is very heavy with the stuff on the hips.
Side.
Like, yeah, Guerdy, like, even like with that shaved head, like, you have nothing to focus on but her face, and her face is not missing. Like, you're not competing with this lady's face at all. Oh!
No, I agree.
What are your thoughts, Danny?
If I rank these in order I've highlighted them, I rank it from Guerdy side down. Guerdy being the best, Alexia number 2, Larsa number 3 for me. Larsa looks like she is ready. All she needs is her face paint for Dia de los Muertos. She just needs her white face paint for that, because that's what she's dressed like to me. I do like this color lip on Larsa. I think her face looks good. I think from neck up, I think those earrings are bomb. I love her cleavage. I would like to see this moving before I render my final judgment, you know? Alexia, I think it's safe. It's nothing it don't look horrible. It don't look stunning. You know, I think she looks okay. You know, she looks nice. Good. She looks pretty. I like her hair. But Guerdy,
I like the beat. It was cute.
I like the beat. But Guerdy she's just taking it with no hair, low cut, low buzz cut, and she's just taking it for me. Like, I love this. It's a statement piece. I think that's what you should do at a reunion, is look a lot different than you normally do, and I feel like she understood the assignment.
Absolutely. So we're going to have the last three people that we're reviewing, and then we're going to get right into our callers. So the last three are the friends of. We've got Marisol, Kiki, and Adriana. I'll let you start, Danny.
So Adriana and Larsa went shopping together.
Okay, obviously.
And I think that Adriana saw that Larsa had roses on her thing, and she probably took roses from the set and put them in that headpiece of hers. Kiki, of course, is eating it. Kiki and Guerdy are the best dressed you got to get for another reunion. That pose on her, that color on her hair, her makeup, it's just utter perfection for me. That leg. Lisa, this is how you do a split. This is how you do it, Lisa. This is how you pose with a split. If you ever wanted to know what happened to Mama Elsa's fashions, Marisol is wearing them. This is what Mama Elsa wore for her quinceañera, and Marisol decided to bring it back. I am sorry, but this is ugly, 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 and I do love. I like seeing Marisol with her hair down like this.
Yes,
I do like Marisol's hair. I just don't understand what in the crochet gold lame basket checker, whatever she got going on that top. I don't like it. It does look like she got popsicle, like that check thing is made with popsicle sticks or rope. I'm disgusted.
Oh my God, not disgusted. So I will say, if we get into Adriana's headpiece, it is very much like a Virgen de Guadalupe like piece. It's got like a little halo around. So I'm enjoying the nod to the culture on this. I think Adriana looks great in the picture. I'm a little bit worried that the dress will probably look cheap once it's moving. But I will say her breasts look amazing from the top. Like, she looks really, really good here. Kiki's taking it for me. Like, I almost like that her and Guerdy kind of have the same silhouette. They both have stuff that's accentuating their hips. The colors complement. Like, I can't say a single bad thing about this look on Guerdy. Like, Guerdy, like, like, my God.
And Jamie, with Adriana too, I will say, she probably would have been one of my top looks, like in the top three. She probably would have been after Kiki and Guerdy to me, if not for the headpiece. I think that black on her eats her skin up. Looks really good on her. Again, the dress might look cheap, but I think it's one of her better reunion looks.
Yeah, well, I mean, she always hasn't been on point with her reunion looks. I almost wish for her, like, instead of just a plain black cape, that she would have incorporated the roses as kind of like a cascading roses within the cape. So it's almost like she's pulling a train of roses. I think that probably would have looked better than the headpiece, given that Larsa also had a little bit.
She needed Julia's cape without the headpiece.
Yeah, without the leopard, without the flower out. So my Marisol, I love Marisol's hair. I'm enjoying this little short blunt thing. I almost wish her lip was a little bit of a darker red, just to kind of go with everybody else's dress. The dress itself,
don't do it.
Looks like it probably would have been pretty if you took off whatever piping was up on the top. Like, the top looks like, remember when you're like in first or second grade and they give you those little Twizzler, little like pipes, and you get to make like characters and you get to twist them or whatever. Like, it very much looks like a home ec class that you just made, and I'm very confused as to why she felt the need to do that. Her reunion, or excuse me, her confessional look with the little burning heart and like the gold like chest piece that she had was a better look than this. I think from the chest up, she looks great. Love the hair. I love the lip. I think that if she had taken the piping off, the dress probably would have looked great. Simple, but good. But this piping, I'm hoping it looks better in person. But if not, oh my God, Marisol, what are we doing? But yeah, you guys sound off in the comments or join the chat line so we can get some feedback on that. Looks like we've got some callers right now. We're going to go ahead and jump into it. Gossip News and True Crime Network.
Yep.
And I don't think I've known this name before. Hello.
I laugh every time they join because that is just I love the name of the face.
Which one are we discussing today? Gossip or true crime?
We're discussing gossip.
Okay, there we go. What do you got for us? How are you doing?
I'm doing good. I am tired.
Okay, what are you exactly tired of? Of Lisa and Lenny?
Lisa and Lenny. I'm sorry. Every time I hear Lisa say one word about Lenny, I feel like I'm growing gray hairs in my hair. I do not care about their relationship. You are divorcing him. Get over it. Like, Guerdy is over here. Like, the other reason I don't like Lisa, Guerdy's over here puking out, and Lisa's over here taking selfies and looking for lip gloss. It's like whenever something's not on her, she does not care. But whenever she wants all the attention, she gets mad when she gets called out for it. Even Alessia did it. Larisol did it, and I'm not even liking Larisol this season, but she's starting to redeem herself somewhat.
Not too much
I'm
of
just
Marisol.
needing. Look, Marisol's being Marisol. I'm fine with that. Alexia's being Alessia. I'm fine with that. I just need them to replace Lisa with Kiki and tell Lisa to go home and don't come back. Like,
I agree.
her time is gone. Her time's been gone.
So I think it was safe to say that in this argument, you are Team Kiki. Do you think Kiki was overreacting a little bit? Or are you completely, she is well within her rights?
I think she's well in her rights if she told Lisa that, and Lisa demeans her like that. It gives me hypocritical vibes from her. She doesn't like it when anyone demeans her relationship with Lenny or her feelings about Lenny. But everyone else's feelings that they want a voice, she always sets it down. And it's like you can't keep doing that if you want to be a friend to all of them. But at the same time, if you're standing in front of Kiki yelling at her, yeah, she's going to yell back. And that's my main issue with Lisa. She seems like she's digressing from her relationship. She's taking her anger from her ex-husband and projecting it onto all these women.
Yeah.
Because Kiki didn't deserve to be yelled at. She didn't deserve to be demeaned. And most people are going to be looking at Kiki like, you should have been yelling in her face. But if someone's yelling in my face, I'm yelling back at you.
Absolutely. All right, before we let you go, who was your best dressed for the reunion?
I'm going to have a tie between Kiki and Guerdy.
Without a doubt. We agree. Thank you so much for
My
joining
worst?
us. You have your... yeah. Well, I wasn't going to be shady, but we can if you want. Who's the worst dressed?
I'm gonna say Lisa and Adriana. I'm sorry, but I'm gonna need Adriana to get a whole another outfit. Lisa needs to stop wearing red altogether.
Oh,
so wait, so you think Lisa looked worse than Marisol?
I think Lisa looked worse than Marisol. I'm sorry. I like Marisol's dress. I really did. It's not as bad as Lisa's, but it's like Lisa's over here with a split that looks like she's trying to go for Paris met Miami mixed with Vegas, and it ain't working.
At all. None of those cities are working.
And Julia's is way too colorful. But I'm gonna let y'all go.
Thank you so much.
Right, thank you.
Thank you for calling in. Every time Gossip News hears Lisa talk about that's us, all of us. All right, we got our next caller. We got Tawana Colbert that's coming in. Hello, Tawana. How are you doing tonight?
Hi, how are you?
We are great. How are you tonight?
I'm doing great. Thank you for asking.
Lay it on us. What do you got tonight?
So I just wanted to say that I agree with you guys and the previous caller when it comes to the whole Lisa and Kiki situation. I'm Team Kiki on this. I feel like Lisa is. She makes it's like if she isn't the center of the room, it's like she tries to take over every conversation. It's like she makes her issues bigger than what the other girls are going through, and all the girls have problems. It's like Guerdy's literally fighting for her life, and you take every conversation at every event and turn it into a conversation about you, Lenny, and his girlfriend. So I really agree with Kiki with that situation. And I'm just over Lisa. I can't take it no more. And if we're tired and we're watching it, I know the other girls are tired because who wants to go on a vacation and your friend is screaming and crying about her ex-husband and his girlfriend all the time?
All the time.
That's got to be exhausting. And I wanted to say, I would like to see next season Kiki get her mojito, because I would like to see more of her personal story.
Same.
And
We agree.
my best dress for the reunion is Kiki. I think Kiki has my favorite reunion look of all time out of any
Ooh,
franchise. And
okay.
it used to be Portia from, I can't remember what season, but when she wore the purple velvet with the gold
Yep.
crown.
Yep.
But I think Kiki had my favorite look of all time. And Guerdy's right behind her. I'm happy Guerdy didn't wear a wig,
Mm-hmm.
because I love when she wears her bald head because she has such a beautiful face. So you get to see it when she doesn't have all that hair.
Absolutely. Like, I mean, a woman that looks like Gertie, like, no matter she could put a chicken on her head and like you're gonna notice her face. But I think that her shaving her head just really zoomed in on like everything about her face. Like the woman is just she's beautiful, and it's just her energy. Like you can feel her energy coming
Yeah.
out. Like she's just such a beautiful spirit. So we agree. So Tawana, before I let you go, any parting words, any parting tidbits you want to leave with us?
When are you guys gonna review Married to Medicine? I keep missing it. What days do you do it on?
Tuesdays.
Mm,
Tuesdays.
Tuesday.
Hmm.
Tuesdays.
Okay,
I knew
okay.
that.
I got
I knew
something to say about them.
Well,
Everybody has
trust me,
something to say about
Chase,
them.
Okay, I'll
Chase
see
and
you
crew would
guys
love
on
to have you there.
Tuesday.
Chase and Sammy been ripping those ladies a new one for the last 5 weeks. So
Oh my
tune
god,
in.
they a mess.
All right, Tawana, you have yourself a great night. Thank you so much for calling in, and we will talk to you soon.
Bye.
All right, we have our last caller of the night. We got Miss Tammy that we are adding in. Tammy, how are you doing tonight?
Hi, how are you?
We are
Okay.
good. We are good.
I just wanted to say I love you guys, and
Thank
I
you.
purposely stayed up to watch this because yesterday's episode, because it normally airs in the UK on Thursday, so I watched it this morning. So I just wanted to say that Lisa, ugh, I don't even know where to start. I think the turning point for me when I knew that she was a mad person was when she had to set a reminder in her phone to speak to her to call her boyfriend. And I was just like, oh no. And then since then, it's just been like a steady downhill spiral. This episode, she really, I don't want to say that she is a Karen, but she's showing like little traits of
You can say it.
Karen-ness.
You can say
Karen-ness,
it.
like the fact that she wanted to basically portray that Kiki was like an aggressive person. Kiki has never
Hmm.
shown any form of aggression since she's been on the show. And it's like when like white women they will take something and run with it, something that Lisa was the aggressor in. She's now turned it around and made herself feel like the victim. Everything will be like, oh, are you going to fight me now? Or, oh, what's going on? It's like, no, Kiki's just coming to hug you. So I don't understand why we're saying that like she wants to fight you. I'm really enjoying these last couple of episodes. I think it's a bit too hard to believe. So I'm I'm liking her with one eye open, because it can always turn around with her. But yeah, I'm really enjoying this season. I feel like a lot of people need to get into Miami. I probably not. It's probably not great that it's on the same night as Beverly Hills, because I recently saw a rating that Beverly Hills gets like over 1 million views, and then Miami gets like I think just over between 400 to 500,000.
Yeah,
So
which is
yeah,
criminal.
Yeah. And another thing, what I really love about Miami as well, you can tell that there's genuine friendships on there. It's not like
Mhm.
Potomac where they've just is like they're telling them, okay, you guys need to go to work and be together and be nice to each other. But Miami seems like a real group of friends, a real friendship group. And I love the way that Alexia, even though she's never on the correct side of history, she was on the correct side of history tonight. Kind of like
Tonight.
Kim Zolciak is never on the right side of history, just like Alexia. But yeah, I'm really enjoying the season. In terms of what was my best looks from the reunion, Kiki definitely top, and then followed by Guerdy. I really did like Lars's look in terms of like she had a red lip. I don't think I've seen her with a red lip. It's always like a nude,
Yep.
so it was nice to see her with a new look. But yeah, that's all I have to say. Thank you so much. I really enjoy this panel, even though it's two of you. I'm loving it.
Thank you so much. Well, thank you for joining us all the way.
Thank you so much.
You're in the UK? What part of the UK are you from?
Yeah, I'm in the UK. I'm just outside of London. It's called Essex. I don't know if you've heard
Okay.
of Essex. Yeah,
Yeah,
so
I've
I'm
heard of
just
that. Well,
outside
thank
there.
you. Thank
Yeah,
you
it's
so
about.
much for joining us. Thank you for staying awake for us, and thank
I
you
know
for
it's quarter to
I
3. It's
know.
oh, until
2:44
3
a.m.
a.m. Go
Yeah.
to bed. We are not that entertaining.
No,
Speak for yourself.
I always wanna catch a live
Yeah.
because I just love you guys and I just always want to just stay up and just hear what you guys are talking about. And I could never catch some of the other lives because you guys do it on the day that it airs.
Yeah.
So like Beverly Hills, and we don't get it into the UK until the next day. So I'm always catching the reruns. But yeah, it's just nice to be in a live.
Well,
Tammy, so
I will
that
ask
means a lot.
management.
I'm
I
sorry.
was going to
No,
say
I was
I
gonna
can
say,
ask
Tammy, it means a
management.
lot.
Oh, well,
Go ahead, Jamie.
one at a time, one at a time.
Danny,
I
you can
was gonna say,
let's go.
Tammy, it means a lot to hear you say that you stay up to 3 to watch us, because I probably wouldn't do that for anybody. So it really, that's touching. Thank you so much.
Thank you for being real.
Well, Tammy, we will ask management if we can move one episode of Beverly Hills to the next day just for you. He'll
Oh,
probably say no. It's just not going to happen. But just know that I lobbied for you. Well,
thank you
Tammy,
so
thank
much.
you so much for joining us. We really appreciate
Thank
whenever
you.
we get viewers and callers from all across. It's good to know that you share the same kind of crazy sense of humor and you enjoy our foolishness. We really, really love it. All right, guys. Well, that wraps it up for our show. We went a little bit over, but we appreciate you guys joining us. Before we sign out, make sure that you like and subscribe to this video. As I said, set those reminders so that way you know when your favorite TV shows are recapped by us. We only got a couple of weeks left on Married to Medicine, Potomac, Beverly Hills, and Miami. It does look like that within the next couple of months, we're going to be seeing the return of Jersey. We're seeing the return of Dubai at some point. We have not decided yet exactly what we're going to be reviewing because after the last couple of months, baby, we are all exhausted. We are tired. We need a vacation. We need a nap. We need something. We need a drink. But yeah, thank you guys. Danny, thank you for joining me tonight. Thank you for cutting up.
Wouldn't have had it any other way. Love it. Love doing this.
You said wouldn't have had it any other way.
This is one of the ones that I enjoy all of them, but I actually we get to cut up here a little bit, so.
A little bit. It's always a good time with me and Danny. So I will say, guys, before we go, I've known Danny. Danny, we met in what, like 2015-ish? 15?
No, like 2015.
15 to 14? Yeah, we met there through mutual friends and have kind of run into each other at events over the last couple of years. And when we joined the lead, I did not know that he was on. And when I saw him on the panel, I was like, wait, I know you. We've known each other for a couple of years. So every time we get together, it's a good time. I'm very excited to see you in 2 weeks, Danny. So, guys, tune in. We're having our lean cabin trip in 2 weeks. We're trying to figure out what shows we're going to do live. So you don't want to miss it because you may get all of us in one room cutting up. I don't know how well the review is going to go, but you're going to get to see us all in one room. So thank you, guys. Thank you for everybody who tuned in. Tammy, Sean, Cortez, all of our callers, Gossip News and True Crime. We've got Oliver Girl, Tawana, Ant World, Samara for tapping in. Chase, Antonio, we also see you. Thank you to everybody. Miss Ida, you guys have a fantastic night. We will see you guys soon. Have a blessed evening, and I'm gonna keep talking until I find the outro video. Danny, yes,
I just want to say
take
one thing.
it.
Yes, Tammy, freaking fraud, and fraud is Jamie. All right, you can end it now.
Well, now, hold on.